Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore theory video, and today we will take a closer look at what kind of potential future the Elf Kingdom could actually have, if the Elf Kingdom even survives the coming months and years. But before we're going to take a closer look at all of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Now with that said, the 16th volume of Overlord ended with Eins Ulgon, Mare, and Aura retreating from the Elf Kingdom's capital, taking Zesshi with them and imprisoning her within the Great Tomb of Nezarec. And while Eins has sent Pandor's actor back to the Elf Kingdom in order to perform a cleanup operation, namely taking all the valuable loot left, obfuscating any traces, and take anything back that could also lead directly to the Great Tomb of Nezarec. But there's still an army outside of the capital gates, currently assaulting them. And even though Zesshi Zetsumei has been lost, this does not stop the wider army of the slain theocracy from carrying out orders, so the entirety of the Elf Kingdom's capital has likely already been conquered by now, with many elf captured and anyone who dared opposing the slain theocracy's army killed. And now the question is, what Slain will do next? The loss of the strongest godkin will hit them like an iron dumbbell in the face, while there's no trace of the Elf King left. So for all the theocracy knows is that just like Zeshi's mother, the Elf King has actually abducted Zesshi, likely prompting Slain to send in the Black Scripture and every other force available in order to rescue her. This means that the entirety of the rest of the kingdom, of the Elf Kingdom, is currently at stake of experiencing the same fate that Eins Ulgon has made the Kingdom of Riestais experience. Every village, no matter how isolated, would likely be visited by the slain theocracy, be invaded, be put to the torch, with its inhabitants either killed or captured, with the slain theocracy's zealots being as cruel and merciless as Eins Ulgon's undead. But this will take time. The forest of Ivasha is still deadly, and with a third of their elite units lost, or at least rendered combat ineffective, the theocracy can't just have their men charge headfirst into the rest of the Elf Kingdom. This might provide Eins Ulgon with enough time to actually prepare his forces and attack the theocracy's core lands, thus prompting every single soldier of Slain in the Elf Kingdom to abandon their current position and rush back to the homeland, thus likely saving the rest of the kingdom from otherwise certain death. And speaking about certain death, if Eins Ulgon introduces Zesshi at least as an ally, she could perhaps even lead the counteroffensive against the troops still remaining within the Great Forest of Ivasha, as a way to legitimize her as the future queen of the Elf Kingdom. While Eins will clean up Slain, Zesshi will push their troops out of the Elf Nation, thereby conquering it as her very own, and again as the potential liberator of the Elf Kingdom and as the lost child of the Elf King. This would make her the legitimate ruler. And even if the wider population for some odd reason would refuse Zesshi, she is stronger than the Elf King, and the Elf King could already do what he wanted, so I don't think there would be much in the way of resistance anyway. But if there would be, there wouldn't be for much longer. And as such a legitimate ruler, she, like Jerknith, will most likely enter the Sorcerer Kingdom's sphere of influence either as an ally, like the Holy Kingdom or the Dwarf Kingdom, or truly like Jerknith's empire, as a vassal state. This installation of puppet rulers is something the Sorcerer Kingdom is very familiar with. I mean, Demiurge accounted for Eins Ulgon to find someone in the Holy Kingdom to be shaped into a future ruler already. So after 3 more volumes, installing Zesshi as the ruler of a nation they would want to integrate into their own sphere of influence would just be a normal standard procedure by now. And the question then is, what will happen if the Elf Kingdom is more or less part of the Sorcerer Kingdom? Again, either as an autonomous province or as a vassal state. Well, assuming there are still elves alive in the theocracy after Zesshi disappeared, then we can assume that all of the elves are freed and allowed to either go to the Sorcerer Kingdom or back home, leading to a sudden population influx, especially because elves that have lived in servitude for decades and centuries would also return. And with the capital in ruin, the question then is how the Elf Kingdom under Zesshi would handle all of this. And in my opinion, this opportunity will be used to normalize the presence of undead within the kingdom's border, the Elf Kingdom that is, because the undead, much like they did in the Lizardman territories or in the wider Sorcerer Kingdom, would now take out any threats to the elf civilization, be they wild beasts or hostile tribes, while allowing everyone else to become a part of the Sorcerer Kingdom as a citizen. So just as the Forest of Top had been thoroughly pacified by the undead forces of Ainz Ol Gown, the Great Forest of Ivasha would most likely share its fate and become a safe place to travel to. And since it isn't even fully explored, and since it is already confirmed to hold resources, for example in the form of herbs that the Forest of Top lacks, the wider Sorcerer Kingdom also stands to profit from this. Especially because if travel becomes trivial instead of a mortal danger, due to the dangerous beasts being finally gone, the economic integration of all of the isolated villages could happen, leading to a vastly increased volume of trade and commerce, both within the Elf Kingdom itself and with the wider Sorcerer Kingdom, and through it, with the rest of the world. So to summarize, if Zesshi Zetsumei, who currently is held as a prisoner in the Great Tomb of Nezubik, becomes an ally of Ainz, for example like Nea Baraya, she, as the Elf King's daughter, could take over the Elf Kingdom and rule it as its queen. She would then enter the sphere of influence of the Sorcerer Kingdom and receive aid to rebuild the war-torn nation, while the undead forces of Ainz Ol Gown would pacify the dangerous beasts, thus also normalizing the presence of a foreign military force, and of undead soldiers within the elf nation itself, making it a puppet state just like the Empire of Baharut already is, while vastly improving the safety and living conditions for its inhabitants. Other Daddy Other, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Firachivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc War Boss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, The Short Guy, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.